U.S. stock futures are pulling back on Monday following the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. The three major indexes closed higher for 3 weeks in a row, with the S&P 500 posting its seventh record close since November 8th. Now, U.S. indices closed higher on Friday. The Dow Industrials and S&P 500 reached all-time highs. Shares in the utilities, telecom services, and autos, as well as component sectors, traded higher. And on the economic data front, at the end of last week, wholesale inventories fell 0.4% month over month in October. In other news, market U.S. services PMI fell slightly to 54.7 in November. On the other hand, the market U.S. composite PMI remained unchanged in November. As for your advancers and decliners, 72% of S&P 500 constituents traded higher on Friday. And in the after-hours market, KKR and Sino-Ocean Group Holding Limited entered into agreement to invest in Beijing Capital Judah Limited. Now, the deal would be through a combo of new ordinary shares and perpetual convertible bond securities for a total consideration of $191 million. In terms of today's earnings releases, it is quiet with no major earnings expected. As for economic data today, the calendar is fairly light. At 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, the November Dallas Fed Manufacturing Activity Index will be released. Now, this week does bring plenty of Fed official speeches as well as economic data. At the end of this week on Friday, the jobs report will be released in the U.S. Taking a look at overseas markets, Asian markets were mixed. The Nikkei was off minus 0.13%, the Hang Seng gained nearly 0.5%, and South Korea's Kospi was up 0.2%. European indices are trading in the red on Monday. As for the U.S. equity indices, the S&P 500 is in focus. On an intraday basis, the upside does prevail, and trading central analysts prefer long positions above 21.91, with targets standing at 22.16 and 22.47 in extension. As for the Nasdaq, the bullish bias stands above 48.22 on an intraday basis, and for the Dow Industrials, the bullish bias stands above 19,015.